Hear me out on this one. Who would you be without your concerns? And I want to offer you something to sit with and allow it to land. Not something to fix, not something to figure it out, just something to notice. Who would you be in the absence of your concerns? And I don't mean by removing your life or pretending things don't matter. I mean, just for the moment, if the mental noise softened, if the constant thinking, the analyzing, the trying to stay on top of everything, just quieten down. We take a notch down. Who is there? Because most of the time, we are not actually living our lives. We are living in our concern about our own life, thinking about what might happen, what didn't happen, what should be different, what needs to change. And it creates this constant background noise and the pressure, even when nothing is actually happening in the moment. And over the time, that pressure starts to feel normal. We get used to it. We get conditioned to it. It starts to feel like that is just who you are. But what if that's not a true version of you? What if that layer of concern is something you've become used to carry? Not something that defines you. And again, I'm not saying your concerns aren't valid. Yeah, you care, and of course you do. You're a loving human being, and you care about your life, and you care about the relationships and your future. But that's not a problem. We're not talking about that. It's the constant holding it off that starts to shape your experience, everything. Because when your mind is always in a concern, even neutral moments feel heavy. Even good moments can't fully land. Yeah? And there is always something in the background saying, what about this? What if that? Don't forget this. And it keeps you slightly removed from what is actually here. So just for the moment, today I'm inviting you, let's not try to solve anything. Let's not try to get rid of anything. Just notice. If you weren't holding all of that right now, who would you be in this moment? Not later, not when everything is sorted, but right now. Would you feel lighter? A little bit more present? A little less contracted? Who would have more space? You, in your mind. And even if it's just a slight version of it. Yeah? So that already exists. Yeah? Because underneath what you're carrying, there is a part of your life that doesn't actually need to be perfect for you to access this. Nothing externally has to change at first, because this isn't about your circumstances around you. It's about what you're holding internally. And when you start seeing this, there's a different kind of freedom. Not the kind that comes from everything going right, but the kind that comes from not being so tightly wrapped around everything. Yeah? You can still care in those moments. You can still move forward. You can still take an action, but without that constant pressure sitting underneath you all. And that changes how you show up in your relationships, in your decisions, in how you move through your day. There is a less urgency, less force, and more clarity, because you are no longer reacting from a place of attention. Yeah? You are responding from a place that's a lot more steady. And again, this isn't something you have to master it instantly. It's just something to notice about and over again. Yeah. And when you feel yourself tighten, when your mind starts running ahead, yeah, just gently come back to the question, who would I be right now if I wasn't holding this concern? And just see what shifts, not perfectly, just in honesty. Because that space, that slight softening, that's where you are. And without all the noise, without all the noise, that can be you.